All right, guys, so it's finally time. Over a month ago at this point, I made a post on my community page showing Artak soloing Ice Golem 9 hard in a really good time. It's 2-minute time right there. However, there's one issue in the screenshot, which I'm going to talk about once I get into actually showing this. But in the comment section, everybody seems pretty excited, which I also want to say shout out to Boozer. I love his content. Also, Mr. Burrito Slayer down here as well. Both awesome raid content creators. But in this screenshot, my Artak has Soul Reap. Soul Reap is not the best idea, and I'm going to go over why in just a moment, but I've switched over to Miracle Heal, which is actually the same suggestion that Boozer had left in the comment section, and he mentioned removing War Master. Very, very important. You cannot use War Master on your Artak. He'll proc the Ice Golem Slam and ruin your day. So right now we have Artak finishing up the last run that I'm going to do for today, which is 15 of 15 successful, because I have it set to not continue if we fail. So this run's going to go in the background while I show you guys this screenshot as well. I like to make sure whenever I showcase these runs and showcase champion soloing that the runs are very successful. So here we have 37 plus, let's say 15, 37 plus 15 is going to be 52 successful runs as of this recording, as of today when I was doing these runs. So 52 successful runs, no fails whatsoever. I am confident in sharing this with you guys that it's going to be flawless. This is actually the same Artak that I used a while back soloing Ice Golem. I just didn't take any screenshots of it, unfortunately, but I would say it's well over 100 runs right now with no fails, which, like I said before in videos long time ago, I don't like doing these solo videos and just doing like 1 or 2 runs, even 10 runs. I've had times where runs have went 10 times successfully, even 20 times or more successfully, and then all of a sudden something weird happens and they just start failing over and over and over again. So I like to make sure if I'm providing you guys with a guide for a champion that it's going to be as consistent as it can possibly make it, and that you building these champions out isn't going to be for no reason whatsoever, because silver is hard to come by. The patience, the time it takes, it's all just a waste if all of a sudden you are successful for 10 and then you start failing 5 or even 10 after that, which is pretty awful. So I always like to make sure my runs are at least a 95% success rate, though this one I believe should be 100% success because of all the runs I've done. I haven't seen any fails, and I really don't see any situation where it does fail, unless you're using Soul Reap. And I'll talk about why Soul Reap is so devastating. It's actually because of this wave right here, because for a while it was doing so good for me. It was making me have 2-minute runs and very, very smooth, and all of a sudden, boom, I had some issues on the second wave, which I'm going to showcase. I'm going to explain that to you why it's an issue, and then the run just started failing over and over and over. But guys, if you appreciate that level, I guess, of effort put into it, hit the subscribe button down below, which, speaking of, when I say subscribe, if you're watching on the YouTube like desktop platform, does it like highlight the subscribe button? Because I was watching a video earlier where somebody said to subscribe, and the subscribe button glowed. Is glue the right word? It lit up in like a rainbow color. I thought it was kind of interesting, kind of cool. So let me know if it actually did light up, and press the like button while you're down there as well. I don't think that one lights up, but here we go. This is 15 successful, but as far as this Artak build, let's go over what we have going on, and then I want to talk about why you cannot be using Soul Reap. So my Artak stats are looking like this. For Ice Golem specifically, because I do have some area bonuses, we have 98,000 HP. A lot of HP is very important just because of how his max HP decrease works. You want to make sure you have very high HP numbers. His defense is actually going to be scaled as his HP drops down lower. So for me, I have 2,800 defense. We have 261 speed. No crit rate. It's not relevant. He doesn't do much damage, and honestly, crit damage is not needed whatsoever either. For resistance, we have 476. Accuracy is 334. As far as the numbers you're going to be looking for, Ice Golem stage 9 hard, we're looking for an accuracy of 330 at least and a resistance of 420 at least. So in my situation, I'm a little bit above both of those numbers, but that's okay. I'd rather shoot over than be under and end up failing. So my Artak is a little bit above and beyond, but you definitely need to hit those numbers at least. If you come over to the Hell Hades website, the stages tool specifically, it'll show you all the numbers you actually need to hit in order to, be successful and resist the debuffs from the boss, as well as place debuffs on the boss, as well as the waves. The waves are a little bit lower requirements. Actually, I'll show you guys a fast team after this. We'll build that as well. So as far as my pieces of gear, sometimes this helps people to see, players to see this. My weapon, we have some resistance and speed. My helmet, resistance and speed as well. The shield, the gloves, we got some nice ascensions. If you can get some good ascensions, go ahead and do that. We have some more resistance on the chest plate. Speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and take this to max. Don't need it. Now he's looking at like PvP resisting levels, almost 500, but hey, it is what it is. We're okay. For the boots, we have some extra speed. Now, do you need this much speed? I'm not really sure. You could probably drop the speed lower and see how it performs for you, but for me, I was needing to hit high resistance numbers, so putting the stone skin set on, at least those 2 pieces, gave me 40 extra resistance, which at this point, I don't actually need that, but really, I was just trying to get as much speed, as much resistance, and then as much survivability as I could, and it just so happened that the boots that also had resistance had an ascension of speed, which may actually be swapped off because if I don't need this much speed, I don't really want Artak hogging those pretty good boots. As far as the accessories go, the ring is HP ring. We've got some defense rolls there, pushing the HP as high as I can get it. You'll notice that on all these pieces, as much HP as I can get, because HP in this situation is very, very important. And then for the banner, we have accuracy with a nice triple roll speed. Like I said, do you need this much speed? I'm not really sure, but you do want to push up the speed to a pretty high level. As far as the skills go, everything is fully booked. Go ahead and book him. Artak is an amazing champion. And then, yeah, there's not really much to say as far as the skills. There is no presets whatsoever in this run, which I absolutely love. No presets whatsoever. I'm going to emphasize that again once I get into the actual run, but there are no presets being used, which is why I can do multi-battles and have the food champions being swapped out. So as far as the blessings, we have Miracle Heal, which essentially has a chance to restore destroyed max HP. So he destroys his own max HP, the regeneration set heals him, and he's restoring some of that destroyed max HP. That's very nice, and also gives him some extra HP, as well as some resistance. Pretty good overall base stats. Do you need to be 5-star? I'm not 100% sure. 3-star may work, but if it's not working for you, you may just have to get the 5-star with a 100% chance to restore destroyed max HP. Now, as far as Soul Reap, the reason why Soul Reap does not work is because these Reapers that come out end up killing Artak. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Well, there's a little Skinwalker lookalike champion who's migrated over to the High Elves named Tatura, who, when attacked, reflects 30% of the damage this champion receives back to the attacker. Sometimes the Reapers come out, slice Tatura, reflects as such little damage back to Artak, it's not a big deal. However, when you're at 5-star Soul Reap, you are reflecting back. Let's go ahead and check that out. Let's see how much damage you're dealing. So 5-star Soul Reap, you're dealing 14% of the target's HP and damage. So slicing them down 14% HP, these Taturas, let's see how much HP they actually have. The Taturas in that second wave, they have 376,000 HP. So 14% of that, I'm not for sure, but then you take 30% of that number, and it is a crazy high number. Matter of fact, let's see if we can actually figure that out. So how do you do the percentage? Let's see, 673 times, 0.14? So 52,000 and then times 0.3, I guess, to get 30% of that. So 15,000 damage, you times that by potentially 3 Taturas. This may be a little bit off as far as the math goes, but about 15,000 per Tatura, which would be 15, 30, 45,000 HP potentially reflected back, plus Artak. It's going to ignore his defense, I believe. It's just going to go straight for the HP of the Taturas. And then Artak's getting sliced down at like 45,000 HP potentially. And if he's max at 100k HP, if he's taken no damage but destroyed his own max HP, he could very well die. Now, the reason why that's so deceitful and deceiving is because there's a lot of times where I was running it where I was slicing the Taturas down and they weren't killing me. The damage they were reflecting back was not enough to kill me. But those specific situations, those few times where you are less than 50% HP and you have a ton of HP, but all of a sudden they reflect it back and they just slice you down, well, it's a bad day. And you don't want to have any of the fails happening. Now, as far as the masteries go, let's check this out. We have a lot of turn meter boosting stuff. Relatively typical solo champion masteries. So we have the HP at the top. We have some counterattack stuff. May not actually need that, but we do not have War Master, which is very important. Do not bring War Master. You really don't want Artak doing any damage. While he is strong affinity to the Ice Golem Stage 9 hard, he can still get whacked pretty hard because the Ice Golem's Big Slam is not a fun day for anybody. So essentially, all we're doing is activating the HP burn, having the activations of the HP burn kill everything, and not worried about his raw damage whatsoever. So Artak, there's no presets here. Zero, zip, nada, no presets whatsoever. So you can turn this on RSL Helper, let it run overnight. It is easy. Now, as far as a team that would be a speed team, I'm actually curious about this. So just off the top of my head, that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. That's the Artak soloing stage 9 hard Ice Golem. All the successes I've had. And as far as a solo team, or a speed run team for low turn count, let's see if I can get something to work here. So we do these 3 champions, 4 champions, boom. We're going to have him not use this. We're going to have him open with this in the second wave, and then Seer, number one, and then here, nothing, and then I guess open with that. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to likely get a slam out. So then here we open, and then Artak, just we'll just open with the A1, and then 1, and then 2. So let's get a low turn count here. We don't need a 4th champion. This should be fine. It should be A-okay. Should be no problem whatsoever as far as actually getting to the boss, and it should be relatively low turn count to go ahead and help us out with this turn attack tournament for Ice Golem that's going on at the moment. Now, with that said, our Seer just nuked herself into oblivion. The Ghostborn didn't apply all of his debuffs like he should have because he has weak affinity, but getting to the boss now, okay, well, we actually messed that up a little bit because I didn't realize that Ghostborn was weak affinity. So let's actually try this on stage 10 hard. It's a little bit risky. I realize that. But let's try it out. I'm curious to see how this goes. Because now Ghostborn will actually place his debuffs on the second wave. Artak should do okay. He's just going to have to not get wrecked, I guess. He should have enough resistance to still resist this stuff, though. It's going to be very close if not. So we... Did he get resisted on his burn? Is he too low of accuracy? He might be. No, he's not. He's okay. So as long as we don't activate the slam, we're okay, I think. But then again, we could get some debuffs placed on us and then be bad because he can crit us still. The crits could be nasty. Sub 1 minute, Ice Golem stage 10 hard. Is that going to happen? It should, right? All right, we're coming right up on the end here. Sub 1 minute. Can it be done? I want to see it. So badly want to see it. I think it's my best time. I could get a better time, though, if I threw in like Ninja or something as well. 58 seconds. Beautiful. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and post it in the RSL leaderboards. Probably, maybe. 58 seconds, 50 turns. Not too bad. We could throw another champion in there, maybe Ninja, to go ahead and speed up just a little bit. But all right, guys, the main point of the video today was talking about Artak soloing stage 9 of Ice Golem hard. I got a little distracted there, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Do got a pretty fast team for Ice Golem stage 10 hard, and maybe a more consistent and also fast one for stage 9 hard as well. But guys, if you enjoyed that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all very much for watching. I love and appreciate every one of you, and I'll catch you in the next video.